everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I'm back with another one of my projects using the fabulous Sweet Strawberry stamp set and punch coordination. And today I'm also combining it with the beautiful Celebration Berry Blessings. Now this is a level 2, so free with a £90 spend, but you get both the stamp set and 12 sheets of 12 by 12 paper in these beautiful strawberry inspired fruit inspired themes. So on the front you've got these lovely 6 different designs, and then on the reverse you've got fabulous check patterns, like almost like a gingham kind of effect, but lovely watercolour effects. This strawberry paper is absolutely beautiful, and these are kind of raspberries. So you've got Sweet Strawberry in the Jan to June catalogue, and then Berry Blessings is your Celebration one, which has these kind of blueberries and raspberries. Really great fun, and even better, you get them for free, which I think is absolutely fabulous. Okay, so let's crack on with the projects. Oh, these are just some of the other projects I've made using Sweet Strawberry. So that was my first project. Lovely sweet card. This one you can see I've used the paper and the stamp set. Lovely thank you card, floral images, a simple stamping blueberry card, and this is the card we're making today. So all of these other projects I'll be making and sharing. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, obviously you'll get notified when those go live, or subscribe to my blog. I usually do a blog post to accompany my videos as well. But this is the card I'm making today. You see here I've used the lovely strawberry paper. We've used the background leaf and flower image, and then we've got some punch strawberries as well with the timeless label. So some nice simple layering and punching. So if you're new to it, you don't need to get a die cutting machine to do this, or the punches will do the hard work, just a good trimmer and you're away. So to start off with then, you're going to need a piece of cardstock for our card base. I've used our thick Whisper White, or Basic White as it will be known, and this is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, scored at 4 1/8. Or 14.5 by 21 centimetres, scored at 10.5. And that is our card base that we're going to be using. Other things that you will need, you'll need a piece of cardstock to go across the centre there. So that's 14.5 by 4.5 centimetres. So that'll be 5 3/4 by, I haven't made a note of the inches, by about 1 3/4. So that'll be 1.5 by 5 3/4, or 4 by, no it won't, I don't need, ignore me, that's our paper. So a strip of our DSP that's just 4 by 14.5 centimetres. We'll then want a piece of our cardstock in Poppy Parade, which is 6 by 9 centimetres. So that's about 2 3/8 by 3.5. So our Whisper White to go with that will be 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then in Whisper White is 5.5 by 8.5. So those are all our kind of component pieces. You'll want a few scraps for punching out the sentiment and the other bits and pieces, and a bit of stamping as well to go on with it. So I think that's all the cutting that you're going to need to do. Colours that I've used, I have very much gone with the colours in the paper. So I've gone for that lovely bright Granny Apple Green and the Poppy Parade for the strawberries. So if we start with our stamping. So all I've done here is just come across, and I'll probably do a little bit so you can see a little bit more. So I'm just going to put that right across to the left hand side, so you get a little bit showing here. I'm going to put another little bit that will show the other side of the image, and then the last bit I'm just going to pop down on the very bottom underneath here. And anything that overlaps, like this bit, will be covered up by that layer, so you don't need to worry about it. So that's our card base. On the inside, while we've got our ink out, I'm just going to add one of those. I'm going to stamp off this time so you can see the difference that makes. So you can just see it just takes it down a tone, and again you can come in on the other side as well, just to create a pretty watercolour effect. Now, when you're actually doing the stamping for the punching, there are some people out there who will line this up using a stamparatus so you can stamp it and punch it all in one go. You can do that. I personally, with this punch, prefer to cut it into strips. You get slightly more wastage, but not too much. And what I've done to remind myself of what strips I need is to write it in a permanent marker on the top there. So I've just written my inches and centimetres for that. So what I would do, for example, for the strawberry, I've got a 4 centimetre strip, 1 5/8 strip of Whisper White cardstock, which soon to be called Basic White. And I've looked at it, and it's going to feed in from this bottom piece, but you will get a little bit of wastage. I usually do the outline first. A little bit of wastage with that flower, so you just need to leave a little bit of a gap. So if I just pop that over the top, I usually, you'll see there on this piece, I would do sort of 3 of the outlines, leaving a gap for this little flower, because that's going to just be a little bit of wastage. And then I come in with my infill, and you'll see with these stamps they're the distinctive ones, so you get the shading without having to colour, without having to add anything extra into that. And then all you need to do is open up your punch and feed that through. You'll see from the bottom here, line it up with the aperture and punch. Or if you've got dexterity problems, if you find that's difficult, if you haven't got the strength in your hand, leave it flat, feed it in, slightly close it to hold it in place, then punch down. So either method works really well. When you're using small pieces, in one of my other videos I didn't, get rid of any debris, any sort of loose bits as well, to stop it clogging up your punch. So you'll see you've just got sort of some little bits of debris, but those can just be thrown away quite easily. Then we repeat that process with our leaves and our accents. So I'm going to be using my Granny Apple Green now. And I'm going to come in. So again, just look at the orientation of your images on the punch. I'm doing these at a slight angle just because I cut it a little bit narrow. It happened to be a scrap I'd already got in my stash, in my little scraps pile. So I've done the solid, done the outline image. I'm just going to come over and infill those. And that's what's great about this stamp set. I mean, whilst it's lovely to do colouring, sometimes we need something a little bit quicker and easier. And again with these, you know, it's already got the shading. You could stamp off if you wanted to, like so. Give a slightly lighter tone, or you could stamp onto coloured cardstock as well if you wanted to, just with the outline if you didn't want to fill it in, but I rather like that effect. And then the same process but with our leaf stamp. So again, draw our outline. Oh, I didn't tell you the widths of those. So for the leaf, I do it at 3 centimetres, 1 1/4. And for the sort of stem, I do it at 3.5 or about 1 3/8. Obviously, you know, I'm doing multiples because what I do is I have a little envelope, keep a few spares that when I'm doing projects, I can quickly throw together a card. There we go. So again, same process as before, just feed those in from the edge. This one doesn't matter too much if you come top or bottom. I tend to come from the bottom because it just works better. If you come from the top, you get you might get a little bit of interference from the stem, but it works with this one, with this measurement. And so you don't get very much wastage on that, and it's great for using up those little scraps that you might have around anyway. And then, but I always come in with this one, well, until I get it wrong on a video, I come in from the top, because you can see that there you're not getting very much wastage at all. So just coming at a slight angle on this one. And then you'd go through and you'd cut all of your all of your various things. So you want 3 strawberries, a couple of leaves and 3 stems. So that's the bit where I just tear off that little bottom bit and then come in. And again, they're not designed to be absolutely precise. You can sort of line them up more exactly if you want to, but I keep it quite nice and loose to give us a sketchy kind of effect. Last little bit that we need to do is our punching and stamping for our sentiment. So all I'm going to use there is just a scrap of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp my birthday sentiment twice. I'm going to start off stamping it in red, and then we'll clean up and I'll stamp it in the green. So just once in the red, and I can do that because I'm going to cut that out, cut that out quite nicely. Just clean it, give it a quick clean on your chamois. Again, chamois are designed to get stained, don't worry. But when it's red, you know, it is going to be stained. And then I'm going to come in and come in on this other side, just to give myself plenty of space, and stamp that. I'm using my Timeless label punch. It works really well because you can kind of line up the You Sweet thing, punch that out, and then, as I say, I'm going to hand cut, fussy cut, whatever you choose to call it, that birthday, which is probably the fussiest bit of all. Now again, you know, you could leave it just stamped once if you wanted to. You could heat emboss as well if that's your preference. But I just thought it was rather nice to make that sort of stamp, that sentiment just pop out a little bit more. So all I'm doing here is just moving my, it's like, I don't want to teach my grandmother to suck eggs, but when you're fussy cutting, try and keep your card moving and keep your scissors still, because you will get a smoother effect. Oh, I've gone a little bit close to the T there, a little bit more tricky when there's a word above it. There we go, just smooth that around. There we go. So there's my birthday, there's my happy, and so I'm now going to pop that up on some little bits. So this is where the scraps from the side of your dimensionals come into their own. So you'll see I'm just snipping up the side there, make these skinny little bits that I can then just pop along on that sentiment to create the last little bit that lifts it up. So have a look from the front and just double check there's no bits sticking out. Snip them away if they are, and then just peel off the backing on there. And then we're going to just do one more thing with our punch, and that is to create our layer. So again, you're just going to grab a scrap of Poppy Parade with the same Timeless label punch. Oh, there we go, I've already got my scrap handy. And just punch one of those out. And then to create the layer, you can do this, you can either go horizontal or vertically. And I'm just going to come in probably with my seal and just add some onto the edge there. And this one, because it's got a straight side, is really easy to line up. So you can do as much or as little border as you like. And you can drop it just as I've done beautifully. make me look really clumsy. So there's our happy birthday. Really easy with the strawberries. I find the best way is to pop a little bit of Tombow, and I just add the Tombow to those kind of bottom petals, and I then add that to the strawberry, like so. Other things that you can do with this, obviously, is you can shape these strawberries as well. So if you want to just curl them before you add the petals onto the top. There you go. And then just bend those with your fingers. And you can do the same with the leaves as well by just bending those slightly. It just gives a slightly more realistic kind of look to them. You can see just adding a little bit more dimension. I do like to use my wet glue for these bits because you can just slide them into place. There we go. Okay, so there we've got our, leave those to one side. So now we can start the rest of the construction of our card. So while those pieces are drying and setting, let's add our layers. So I talked about the dimensions for these before. Your choice of glue, whether you want the wet glue or you want to use your Stampin' Seal. Oh. And where is it? Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to add seal and add this to the DSP. And that's going to go flat onto my card. Whilst we want some dimension, you know, we don't want it all. So around about just about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom, a couple of centimetres. Our Whisper White is actually flat onto my Poppy Parade layer. And then we can add our strawberries. So these are the ones where I'm going to pop my dimensionals. So just grab a dimensional and I'm going to put one strawberry, the one that I kept flat, across the bottom, and I'm just going to add a leaf underneath that front edge as well. Front edge strawberry. Then I'm going to add my ones with dimension in the middle, and I'll add a dimensional to the one on the top as well. So I'm going to add that one. You say it just gives a little bit more shaping, and then pop your leaves in, which you can shape if you want to. I've just pop another leaf in there. I'm just popping that just behind. And again, just a few dimensionals, and we're almost there. While we've got our dimensionals out, we want a dimensional on the outer edge, but some glue on this edge. So we can add our panel onto the front of our card. That's blocking the light nicely, isn't it? Suddenly creating shadows. So here we go with our lovely strawberry panel, and then we can just add our happy birthday like so. And there we have a pair of sweet strawberry and our Berry Blessings Celebration bundle to create a couple of fun cards. And as you can see, you can vary the layout as you like to create as much texture and dimension as you like. Thanks for watching. Pop back and see me again soon, and if you would like to purchase any of the products, just pop along to my blog at flutterbyheidi.co.uk or use the links in the description button below. Just click on the down arrow. If you'd like to see any more of the projects, subscribe to my channel and you'll get notified when I upload my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.